My name is Chigozie Emmanuel Inigwe, or you can say Mazi Chigozie Emmanuel Inigwe. Today, I'm going to talk about the topic of the despair that our political elites, I wouldn't call them elite, I'll just say the ruling class has put us into. Because most of them claim to be elites, but they're not elites. Because if you're an elite, Nigeria wouldn't be in this position today. Wouldn't you even stand to gain more if you were the world power? Wouldn't you stand to gain more if you were the world power? Why would you call yourself the elite? And yet you can't even bring Nigeria forward. What do you know? Is it how to share money? You don't even know how to steal money very well. You lack the knowledge of stealing money. You steal money, you steal the public money, public funds, and you take it abroad. You take it abroad, you invest abroad. You buy hotels, you even deposit it in a bank account abroad. And some of these monies, no one knows about it. It just goes missing after your death. Because most of you, the average of you, are in your 70s. You're in your 70s. Who are you that makes you think you can do that to Nigeria? We're all treating Nigeria as if it was just a country that we borrowed from someone. Even myself, if I do borrow something from someone, I try to take care of that thing, so that when I return it to you and I ask you for it tomorrow, you can also you can say, okay, yeah, the last time I gave you my item, you took care of it, and you brought it to me even in a better condition than when I gave it to you. Who are you? What is wrong with you? You know, I used to ask myself, what is wrong with Nigeria? When I stepped my foot in Malaysia the first time, the first question that I asked myself was, why is it that Nigeria can't just be like this or even better than this? Why? You know, whenever you want to start a research, the first thing you do is to ask questions. And when you ask questions to understand the problem, and then when you know the problem, you identify the problem, then you can look for the solutions to the problem. So the first thing I started to do is to ask questions. Why? I didn't know why. Because in my high school, no one taught me the history of Nigeria. No one taught me the history of Nigeria. I didn't know about it. It was just, oh, don't talk about it, that I used to hear. Don't talk about it. Don't worry about it. Just live your life and be happy that you're alive. Don't talk about the history of Nigeria. No, it's not discussable. No, don't talk about it. Biafra will know. Don't talk about it. It's the past, it's not going to move us forward. And I'm asking why? Why shouldn't I talk about the history of my country? A lot of you just live life without even trying to know who you are, how you got to be here. All the youth want to do is just to buy bands, go to clubs, spend the money, take girls from here and there, That's all you want to do. Wear the best, wear the Gucci clothes, wear the Louis Vuitton, Fendi, Ferragamos, wear the Versace, Dolce & Gabbanas, get hooked up with the highest colognes. That's all you want to do. You don't even ask questions. You're not involved in politics. You don't want to know who you are. So I started asking questions. Who am I? Why is it that my country is like this? I go and say, okay, what is used to make a good road? Coal, tar, right? Coal, tar, from coal, and some of it from crude, the remaining of crude oil, right? Okay. I asked myself, why is it that we don't have light? Constant electricity. Why? Okay. What is used to make electricity? Or what is used to generate electricity? Coal, right? Uranium, right? Wind, gas, petrol, sun. Okay. We have sun in abundance. You go to the north, you become as black as a charcoal if you were fair before. Okay. We have gas, one of the best qualities of gas, natural gas. It's just naturally given to us. We don't have to buy it. Okay. We have coal in abundance, which was discovered in 1919 and was used for the railway systems. As soon as oil just came out, 1950s, boom, all the railway systems started running on petrol, on gasoline, on diesel. Now the railways, the coal, the Nigerian Coal Corporation, the NCC, just stopped to function like that. Just stopped to function like that. You don't produce coal again. You just left everything. And now you want to sell it as an asset, listed on the asset for sale. 2008, since 2008, that's been listed as an asset that Nigeria wants to sell. The NCC, the Nigerian Coal Corporation. Who are you? Why do you put us in such a despair? Okay, you're stealing money. Okay. You're stealing money. You're stealing the people's money. And you take it abroad, you go and put it in an account. You go and deposit it in an account. It's not even doing anything there. Most of the times. Okay, right now, you guys are beginning to have some brain. You buy properties. Right? Buy properties abroad. Why don't you bring that money here and invest it here? Why can't you build towers here? You go to Dubai to buy a house, to buy maybe 20 flats in a tower of a condominium. Why don't you build that 20 flats here in Nigeria? Why don't you build it for tourist attraction? Why don't you take that money that you steal and reinvest it here and give people jobs? People are going to complain, but they wouldn't complain as much because, hello, they have food on the table. They're not confused about where to get the next meal from. Who are you? The average of you're 70 years old. Most of you are old people. I used to remember when we used to sing Nigerian anthem when we were small. We'll never forget what our forefathers did for us. One of the things that we sang in the anthem. And it appears that our forefathers cannot leave us. We will not forget them because they're always right in our face. They don't let the youths take power. Never. They're always right. They know everything. You can't tell them anything. They know it all. And yet, our country is still a shithole. Listen, it's just like a household where you have a father, a son, a mother, a daughter, siblings, relatives, and all whatnot, depending on how big or small the household is. Now, the son of the father, a particular son of the father, steals the father's money. He steals the father's money. Now, stealing is not a good thing. No one says stealing is a good thing. No one. But he steals the father's money, and he does what? That's the question. That's the next question that comes. What does he do with the money that he steals from his father? Okay. Does he go to the club and buy drinks and spend it on girls and buy beautiful outfits just to look good and impress the public? Or does he use that money and buy the needed furniture in the house, buy food stuff in the house, or pay one of the siblings' school fees, or do something that is going to be for the betterment of the household? Now, it's two different things. You have a son who steals the money from his father. But he steals the money from his father and he makes the family better off. That being said, that's when you have to start asking him, but why are you stealing this money? Is it that the father does not provide for the family? Or the father refuses to buy this stuff? Or the father is misusing the money? Because he steals the money and then he brings it back to the family. And everyone is happy that he actually stole the money because he's doing something good for the family. But when he takes the money and goes to the club and spend it on girls and buy drinks and impress the public and wear good clothes, then he's the prodigal son for real. Not to say that we should condone the act of stealing. Okay, but stealing can be an addict. It can be addictive. The politicians, they embezzle the money from the people. The worst thing you can do as a politician is to take the money and get out of the country and go buy flimsy properties. You have a lot of mansions here. Why don't you take in that money, invest it, give jobs, at the same time enrich yourself? At the same time, make the country a better place to be. Okay, we have quota. We don't need to buy it. We have crude oil. We don't need to buy it. To make the road better, to give constant light. These are the two basic things that every country should have to make transportation easy, cheaper, to maintain the cars, the trucks. We don't have all this. We need railway stations. Everything that you're doing, you're politicizing it. You want to build railway? You build it from Kano to Maradi in Niger State. Why would you build a railway station from Kano to Maradi, Niger State? This is just common sense. Common sense. The business that goes on from Kano and Maradi does not make up to $100 million in a year. Now, the business that goes from Lagos to the southeast makes billions of dollars in a year. You borrow money from China. You borrow money from Europe to build a railway station. You don't even have a plan to pay that money back, perhaps. You did something that we call over-invoice. You hyped all the cost of everything that you're going to use and build the railway station. So anybody who's going to object you building the railway station is looking for your trouble, because you want to make maybe $100 million from the $1.36 billion that you borrowed from China to build a railway station. You want to make $100 million from there, right? And then $50 million you're going to go buy a house in Dubai. And then $20 million you're going to go deposit it in Switzerland, right? Who are you? Don't you think? What is wrong with your brain? Whenever the project is not for your political interest and your economic personal interest, you don't do it. But when it's in your interest, you do it. At the same time, you talk about one Nigeria, one Nigeria, one Nigeria, and yet you oppress some tribes. You oppress some tribes, and you favor some other tribes, which is one of the problems that we face in Nigeria here. Favoritism. Favoritism. Because you don't know someone, because the person is not from your tribe, because the person doesn't practice the same religion as you do, you don't give them what is due for them, or is due to go to them. They are qualified, they know their job, they are well versed with the job, but you don't give them the job because it's not from your tribe, doesn't lick your ass, it's not the same, it doesn't practice the same religion as you. Favoritism. Okay, now, you talk about one Nigeria. And you have some tribes who are very good in business, which is the Igbo tribe. Very, very good in business. What do? You block the seaport, the Onne seaport in Port Harcourt. You shut down the seaport from Warri. You refuse proposals of constructing another seaport at Onitsha, River Niger. You allow only Lagos to have the seaport. Now you create division between the Igbos and the Yorubas, because Lagos is seen to be a Yoruba land. You claim to be one Nigeria, but you're oppressing some tribes. You implement stupid and vandalous policies that makes the naira invaluable to dollars. All of a sudden there's an escalation of the price of dollars to naira. and it's one Nigeria. If it would have been one Nigeria, Nigeria would be one of the greatest nations right now. One Nigeria. You refuse to have a state policing system that can really secure every region of the country. You have a central police system. So they can protect you when you steal the money, right? They can protect you when you steal the money. They can only answer to you, right? They look at the citizens as praise that they can prey upon. When you're not throwing bones to their plate, they look towards citizens and exploit their ass. Exploit them. Who are you? Who do you think you are? You got to rise up right now. You really got to rise up right now. No problem. You can steal the money because obviously no one can stop you from stealing the money. It's obvious. But invest it in the society. Invest it in businesses. Create a private company that gives loans to people. Give them loans. Give them agricultural loans. Give the SMEs, the small, medium enterprises, loans. You politicize everything. 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 Who are you? Did you even go to school? Huh? Why do we keep looking inside? Listen, I do not think the problem we have in Nigeria is from any tribe. The problem we have in Nigeria is from all tribes. I say it again. It's from all tribes. Some people say it's the Hausa Fulani. Some people say it's the Hausa people. It's from all tribes. Religion. On the Muslim side, which is basically the north, the northern caliphates, Sokoto, Borno, and all that. You turn children into almajiris. They don't go to school. You say school is not allowed. Yet, you take your children to London, to United States of America, to Europe to go and study, get the best schooling. Because you know you don't have the best school in Nigeria here, right? But you even refuse the people here in Nigeria, in the north, to go to that school. What do? What do? You pay them money to get married and keep producing children they can't take care of. At the end of the day, those children run back to you for food. And every Saturday you're feeding like 5,000 people and you want to stand and boast of it? You want to stand and boast that every Saturday that you feed 10,000 people in your house. You're an alhaji. You feed 10,000 people in your house every Saturday. Why wouldn't you want those people to stand on their feet? Why are you giving them fish rather than teach them how to catch the fish? Who are you? You turn down every possible strategies of development. You turn it down. Now you can see the people are rising. The people are rising up. The people are rising up. You go to the oil states, you take oil from the oil states, and then you shut down natural resources explorations in other states. And then you go to the oil states, and then you pipe it. You milk the oil states and give them nothing in return. Now you take the oil money and you take it to the central government and then redistribute the money back to every state in Nigeria. That's so dumb. That's really, really dumb. Because of your selfish and your greediness and your selfishness. Every state in Nigeria, I repeat, every state in Nigeria is supposed to be producing something and exporting something out of Nigeria. Every state in Nigeria is supposed to be exporting something outside Nigeria. That's called international trade. And this is how we can make Nigeria work. We have the best qualities of natural resources. Best quality cobalt, magnesium, platinum, uranium, gas, petroleum. As you know very well, petroleum is called the Bonny Light crude oil. The Bonny Light crude oil. That's one of the best oil in the world. You know about the quality of it. Because we have the best of the bests. And yet you shut down the mine, the coal mine in Enugu State and Kogi. You shut it down. You shut down all the other industries in Aba, in Umuahia. You shut it down. And then you go to the oil states and take the oil, take the money from the oil. It belongs to Nigeria. You claim to be running a federalism system, but you're running a unitary system of government. Because in a federalism system, in a federal system or a federalism system of government, all individual states have their own jurisdiction and they contribute to the federal government to help them protect them at large, to help them build their army for external invaders. Who are you? What is wrong with you? You call yourself elites, but you don't have, your brains are empty because you feel that you're doing the right thing. You feel that you're doing what is going to benefit you. Actually, you're not even doing what is going to benefit you. We have high rates of competition in the world. No one likes black people. No one likes black people. I'm going to say it again and again and again. Our people go abroad. If you have someone abroad, call them. Look at that. That's a generator. That's a generator. If you don't have that, you can't ensure that you have light here in Nigeria. That's nonsense. Call anyone you know abroad. Ask them how they're living in abroad. Yesterday, I just saw that the police in India killed a Nigerian. As usual. I know all this. I lived in Malaysia for 4 years. I lived in Thailand for 4 years. We are not being loved by anyone in the world. Had it not been for America, in the World War II, we all would have been slaves. But you, Sokoto Caliphate, you would have been slaves. If the Americans did not stop the Germans, you wouldn't be talking about being an Islamist. Boko Haram. You wouldn't talk about it. Because Hitler is going to kill everyone who doesn't want to go to his rule of law and type of government, communist government that he wants to implement in the whole world. Okay? We're done with World War II. Now we have World War III looming on the shores of every country. Are you ready for World War III? Are you ready for World War III? Some people say the Biafra War was World War III, but sincerely, I don't believe it was World War III. Because World War II killed 53 million people. I repeat, 53 million people died in World War II. The countable ones, the uncountable ones might be up to 1,500,000. Collaterals were destroyed. Collaterals worth $7 trillion were destroyed in the World War II. Hitler alone used $80 billion in 1939 to fight World War II. So, and Hitler ran out of ammunition in the war front. And that was why they gave up. That was why they surrendered to the Americans. Because at this point in time, a woman discovered what is called the mass production of anything. It's going to cost you millions or maybe thousands to make the first thing, whatever it is. Plate, spoon, computer, guns. It's going to cost you $1 million, let's say $1 million to make one of it. But to duplicate it, it's going to cost you 50 cents. And mass production is being used today in every industry. That's industrialization in its peak. And this was why Germans lost the war. Not because they were scared to fight or they didn't have troops to fight. The Americans were supplying the Russians ammunition that they used to fight the war. The Russians, the Allies, the Allied group, America and Russia, they won World War II. And if not because of them, we would have been slaves right now to the Germans. We would have been speaking German. You, governors, politicians, you would have been speaking German. And you would have been a second-class citizen. Now, none of that happened. But the way the world is going right now, COVID-19 looming, taking people's life, people having unrest, government shutting down the economy without proper permission from the people or the people's agreement or collaboration with the government. It's uprising everywhere right now. Very soon it's going to be Third World War. Because every 50 years, there's always a war. First World War was 1914. It finished in 1918. It wasn't up to 50 years before Second World War. So this is the longest time in the history of man that there was not war, like intense war, world war. I know that they have wars in Syria, in Israel, in some African countries and all that, but I'm talking about world war, like a huge war. We need to, all the states in Nigeria need to need to explore their natural resources, produce and export. Give the state job. Give the people, the locals in the state job. Compete with each other. Both the oil producing nations are supposed to take care of their oil. This is facts. And then all the states are supposed to be paying tax to the government, the federal government, which is federalism. And when they pay this tax, the federal government is going to use this tax to perform federal projects, build the military. You guys should wake up. Yo, I have a lot to say. You need to wake up. If not, you're going to have it coming. you're gonna have it coming. The citizens are gonna rise up against you. You can't do nothing about that. The citizens are gonna rise up against you, and you can't do nothing about that. And by that time, it's gonna be too late. Politicians, rise up from your slumber right now. And that's not to say that the problems is just the politicians that we have. We are all the problems in this country. All of us. The Global Corruption Index states that once you use any power that you have, which is public or meant for public use, and you utilize this power for private gains, that's corruption. It's not just when EFCC go and arrest someone and then you say that that's corruption because they embezzle the money of the public. That is also corruption because you embezzle public money and use it for private use. That's also corruption. But all of us are corrupt. You go to the bank, just the bank here. I went to the bank. I wouldn't mention the bank that I went to. My bank. Because I don't give the guy tip, the security guy there tip every time I go to the bank. What does he do to me? Because of the restrictions of the COVID-19, when you go to the bank, they ask you to stay under the canopy with your mask on, you write your name, and then when it's your turn, they're going to call you into the bank. And so when you go there, you have to stay and queue up, and you wait for your turn. Now the funny thing is, the security guy is using that small power that he has to become a small Buhari, a small Goodluck Jonathan, a small Obasanjo. Yet you see the same person crying that the government is not good, there's no light, there's no good road. You stand there in front of you, waiting for your turn. Because maybe you've sat down and you can't sit no more. You see people going in and out of the bank. And it seems to me that those people are a different type of human beings. Like, they don't have to queue up to wait for their turn. No. They just come and go straight into the bank. And they just come and give one flimsy excuse. And what you notice on their way out of the bank is that money exchange hands from the security guy, from the bank, from the person who just went to use the bank, and the security guy. What is that? Using public power for personal gain and private gains. You claim that you want the country to be a better place, but with the small position that you have, you're using it to oppress other people because they don't give you tips. And once you go to security guy and tell him, man, if I come out, I'm going to give you 1,000 or 500. He says, yo, do you think I take bribe? And then he says, no, I'm just doing it because I feel like you're my man. I'm just doing it for you. And then when you come out from the bank and you don't give him something, the next time you come, he's not going to listen to you. Not just that. It's everywhere. You're working in an office, you come to look for a job in an office, you come like a vulture that has been beat by the rain, looking for a job because you probably don't know how to pay your next house rent, or how to get the next meal to your table. Probably you have money that's going to last you 1 month, and after that, you're exhausted. And then you come and look for a job, and then God have it, with His loving mercy, you get the job. And then you work there for 5 years, and then you're promoted. And someone else comes looking for a job, for an open position in the company. And then you act as if you own the company. But yet, just 5 years ago, you just came there like a vulture that was beaten by the rain, looking for a job. You've forgotten all that. Now you're a god. Now you try to get money from those people who are looking for jobs to give them jobs. Now you try to sleep with all these young girls to give them jobs. And you're telling me that the country is bad? That the politicians are killing us? No, you're killing us too. You drink pure water and you can't even hold it till you get to a refuge bin to throw it away. From your car, you throw it away. You eat banana peels, you throw it through the window. You don't care. You have a shop, a restaurant, you wash your dishes. After washing your dishes, the dirty water, you throw it in the middle of the road. Who are you? Is this country going to work? Most of you governors and presidents that we have right now, 60 years ago, you were young or barely given birth to, or not even born, or you were small, and you complained about the government. Oh, the government is bad, government is bad. And then you grew up, you came into power by God's grace, and now you're a God. Now you're doing the same thing that the politicians before you did. And what is your excuse for that? Oh, the people before me did it, so I have to do it. People before me did it, so I have to do it. You have to do it. Who are you? Who do you think you are? You think you're God or something? You think the politicians are bad and you're not bad? All of us need to make a change. Start treating Nigeria as if it's your country and not borrowed from someone. Because even if you're a good person, if you borrow something from someone, you have to treat it well. You have to take care of it. So next time you can borrow that thing again. And not you borrow something from someone and you just useless it. And tomorrow you expect to get it back from the person. If we don't treat Nigeria as it's our own, or if we don't treat it right, we're not going to have it back again. Nigeria is going to break up. The elite, you need to start showing examples so the people can learn from you. That's why you're a leader. To lead the people by example, you have to be humble. You have to show the people what you're made of. You know what? There's a lot of things to talk about. Look at this military uniform that I'm wearing right now. If I step my feet outside, I'm going to be arrested by the police or by the military people. And they're going to exploit me, nothing else. The military man is going to beat me up. And yet, I've written series and series of examinations to join the military, but I can't join the military. Why? Because of my tribe. There's a favoritism in the military. In the north, the Northerners are being pushed into the military. The Southerners are being refused to join the military. And they have a quota of people they want to choose from the South. And when it comes to the North, there's no quota. People don't want to join the military in the North. You're being forced to join the military from childhood in the North. Who are you? How do you think we can move forward if we don't want to include everybody? If we don't want to have an inclusive government? We got to wake up. We have to wake up. Let us stop looking inside. Let's look outside. What can we get from outside? Let us go there with our goods. Let each state in Nigeria produce their own goods and services and export the excess to other African countries. We're the giant of Africa, right? Export it to other African countries. We go to them with our goods and services. And then when they can't do without us, we can benefit more from them. We can start helping them to mine their own natural resources instead of allow China to come and just do whatever they want to do. in Africa. Allow the Arabians to come and do whatever they want to do in Africa. That's not right. Because you know what? I'm out. I'm gonna start dropping tears right now, man. I feel like crying right now, man. This is so emotional. I feel so emotional when you travel outside Nigeria. If you've not traveled outside Nigeria, you don't know what I'm talking about. But if you've traveled outside Nigeria, you know what I'm talking about. Please, we gotta do something about this. Okay, guys? Okay, this is the God Bless Heaven show, and I'm out.